I'm dusting off my wheels. I'm wearing my trusty casual sandals. It is sunny, even in Belgium. That can only mean one thing. It's all pointing towards the same direction. Tour de Fleece is about to begin. Let's get prepped! And this is what we need to prep. Now what is this? Well, at first I was so sure I was going to spin this mystery fleece that I've got actually no clue what sheep this is. But this fleece is so incredibly soft and has such beautiful fine crimp. Ah! I want to spin it. But then I did my little spinning gig on Heritage Day and there was a couple from the nearby village who owned 2 Zwartbles sheep and they brought their fleeces to me. And then I got a little bit in a dilemma. And then it got even worse. My friendly local neighborhood farmer had saved a Suffolk fleece for me. So what to choose? I didn't know, and I asked you guys' help. And today we're hyped, we're mega hyped for the Zwartbles. It's a pity that you can't actually send me voice messages in the comments because I would like to know how you pronounce Zwartbles, because I read on Wikipedia that Zwartbles in English is also Zwartbles, but then Zwartbles? Zwartbles? I wouldn't know, it's Dutch, so Zwartbles. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about Zwartbles. Let's talk Zwartbles. So yeah, Zwartbles, that is the sheep breed we will be spinning this Tour de Fleece. Now, Zwartbles is Dutch, and I know I have some Dutch viewers, but most of you are not. Zwartbles means black blaze, because it's a black sheep and it has a white blaze on his face. As is often the case though with sheep breeds from the Netherlands or Belgium, so the Low Countries in a whole, and maybe even Western Europe as a whole. A couple of decades ago, it was nearing being threatened to extinction. I read somewhere that maybe there were like 55 sheep left because they weren't economically viable anymore because nobody wanted them for their wool or their milk or their meat anymore. You know, same old capitalistic story, conservatory initiatives, both in the Netherlands, Belgium, the UK and the US, made sure that this breed continues to live the good life, because right now actually it's quite a popular breed of sheep. I have read that this is because the sheep themselves actually have quite a chill personality. They're pretty cool to hang out with. I wouldn't know for sure because I haven't personally spoken to one, but I'm taking it at face value. They look like pretty cool sheep. Like they got a goth vibe going on. Mostly the gothics and the metalheads are the nice ones. So Zwartbles, yeah, I'm quite sure they are very personable and lovable sheep. But it's not Tour de Sheep, it's Tour de Fleece. So let's talk about the fleece. Zwartbles sheep and their wool fall smack bang into the category of medium wools. The micron count is average around 27, so comparable to what I am used to spinning and to what I like spinning, which is Flemish sheep. It has beautiful crimp and on average quite a long staple length of around 4 to 5 inches. However, that's not what I'm seeing in my fleece, but you know, every sheep is different and we'll work with what we have, which is a beautiful, beautiful fleece. So let's prep. That's a big sheep. spitting on my table. Have an issue. Oh, this is poop. Poop, 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 poop. Don't want poop. But otherwise, actually, this is a remarkably clean fleece. What a difference from last year. So we have like really beautiful parts like over here. But mostly it's really, really dirty. Like, look at all this hay. Poop. This seems to be like the leg wool. It's very hairy, lots of camp. And since this is such a big sheep, but all the rest is absolutely beautiful, I'm going to take you for a closer look. Like, for just a fleece from hobby breeders, I don't. This is not what I expected. This is so clean. I'm just going to dunk it into a bucket of water, I guess. My entire IKEA shoe rack full of wet fleece. This is going to be quite the challenge to spin all of this. Last year I don't think I had half as much because the fleece was in such a bad condition. And here is the carnage. Of the discarded fleece. And I'm going to speed up the process of the drying of this bit with my very vintage Moulinex salad spinner, patent apparently still pending. My S-orange combs are at the ready. We are going to make a sample. I know, this is quite novel. I don't do this, except when it's Tour de Fleece. I don't know if it's just this particular bit of fleece, but the staple length is so much shorter than anything I have worked with recently. It only adds to the challenge, of course. Oh my, this is... Can't believe it's not butter. Damn, this is soft. This is... Ooh. I can already feel that this is going to be a joy to spin. And I'm glad little bits of brown are still visible in this bird's nest, and I hope they also will be when I'm spinning it. That would make it like a really beautiful, interesting yarn. Let's get down to business and let's spin this wool. I've made 8 little bird's nests for my sample, 4 for each bobbin, because that is still how math works. I hope. Let's go, I'm excited. I'm hyped for this Zwartbles. I'm spinning this on Jillian. This was a worsted prep, and I'm also going to spin it in a worsted way, because if I'm going to do this for 23 days straight, then it better be something I thoroughly enjoy. And I enjoy spinning on Jillian so much. Also, she is... I was just taking off little bits of leftover wool from a previous project. Jillian is also my most compact wheel. So if ever I need to travel with her during Tour de Fleece, I can just chuck her in my car, no problem. Oh, well, yeah. Oh, apparently there is my food. Sample will have to wait. Okay, now we have got grub in our belly, so let's try again for this sample now, shall we? I have spun up my sample. Didn't spin the entire 8 fluffs that I had prepared because after 4 fluffs, that's 5 Jente. After 4 fluffs, it was abundantly clear that this is some dark chocolate luxury. I just spun my default yarn on Jillian, which is a Sport 2 fingering weight yarn, exactly the same as I did in the previous Tour de Fleece. So yeah, we have got our yarn, and we also have got our plan, but you don't know that yet. So the plan for the yarn that I make in this Tour de Fleece, and I hope I make at least as much yarn as last year. Last year I clocked at around 1,400 meters of yarn. I would like to get a little bit more because, first off, as you saw, it's a very large fleece. If I can spin that all in this fine yarn, I should have hundreds more meters. And I want so much meters because I think this yarn would be so cool to make into his and hers matching sweaters for me and my husband. That's what I was thinking, if I can get enough meterage. But before we can spin all that meterage, we will have to start combing all the fluff. I've got a first box filled to the brim with Zwartbles birds' nests. But that was about maybe a third of the fleece. So I've got so much combing left to do. And I don't think you need to see all of that, because that might get a little bit boring in the end. So tell me, friends, what are you doing this Tour de Fleece? What have you prepped to spin during these 23 days of absolute magnificence? And if you're interested in talking to other fiber nerds, then if you're a member of the Patreon, you can also chat on Discord with me and other members of the Patreon, and I think it would be nice to cheer each other on during Tour de Fleece, but of course, no pressure. And I guess I will see you when we are smack bang in the middle of the tour. And for now, all that rests for me to say is, if you like these kind of fiber shenanigans, then maybe you should like, comment or subscribe. But of course, that is all up to you, and I will see you in a next video. Bye! Let's get the new box!